Hey everybody, it's your girl Marcy of the Brown Girl Collective and BGC Book Club. I know I'm running a couple minutes behind schedule today, so I do apologize for that, but it was a big undertaking to acknowledge all of these wonderful Black women writers as well as others who love Black women. So it took a little bit longer for me to get everything together, but I want to go ahead and welcome you all into the room for this very, very special edition of the BGC Book Club. Of course, tonight we are doing our Lit Year in Review 2022 edition. This actually came up because I asked a question a couple of weeks ago if this was something people would be interested in, and you guys say yes. So that's why we're here, and that's why this is happening. So as you come on in the room, if you don't mind, let me know if this is your first time here or where you're joining me from, things like that. Once again, I'm Marcy Thomas, founder of Brown Girl Collective and the BGC Book Club, which has been around since April of 2020. The book club has. BGC has actually been around since 2009. So there'll be some great things coming up as we continue. We're a teenager now, so there are a lot of wonderful things coming up. So what tonight is, it's about celebrating Black women writers. And first and foremost, I just want to say that it doesn't matter whether you were nominated, made the list or not, or even if you are in the winner's circle. I'll talk a little bit about the winner's circle here in a moment. But you're a winner if you are a Black woman writer who managed to publish, whether it's through traditional publishing or through a, on your own as an independent publisher. You're already a winner. You're already special because it takes a lot to have a dream and walk in that dream and walk in that space and take something that's from your heart and put it out into the world. So I thank you and I appreciate you for that. And I'm sure those readers will appreciate that as well. I see we have Lisa from North Carolina in the house for the first time. So welcome, Lisa. And also Alexandria, who's here for the first time as well. So because I was a little behind, I'm not going to delay and kind of let you know how this is going to go. So there are several, if you took the time to vote, or even if you didn't and you saw the different categories, there are actually 16 different categories. So that's a lot. But I do want to acknowledge each person that was nominated. And then we're going to have like a winner's circle where it's not just one winner, but it'll be like the top 3 winners in every category. So welcome to the room as well, Tara. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let me prepare what I need to do so that we can do this properly. All right, so our very first one that we're going to talk about this evening is our film adaptation. So you will hear me, you won't see me, but you will hear me. So under the category of Best Film Adaptation, there were 3 that made it to the screen this year, and I know there are more that'll be forthcoming. But the 3 that we had the opportunity to select from for this year are From Scratch, a memoir of love, Sicily, and finding home by Tembi Locke, which was a Netflix series. We also had Kindred by Octavia Butler, the Hulu FX series, which actually just started broadcasting last week. And then Angie Thomas's On the Come Up, a Paramount film, which was actually directed by Sanaa Lathan, who's someone that we love. So with that in mind, after you all tallied up the votes and we know who the winner is Kindred by Octavia Butler, the Hulu FX series. So if you had a chance to watch that, you can drop your comments in the box, or if you haven't had a chance to watch it and you're not afraid of sci-fi, go ahead and take a look at that because it's a wonderful way to pay homage to Octavia Butler. So her work and that film is our first winner for the evening. Up next, we have our favorite children's books, which there are many. So I'm going to read them off. One was A Library by Nikki Giovanni. Next, we have Carved in Ebony, which is that's the young adult version. So there's an adult version of it as well, but that's the young adult version. Then we have Just Right Jillian, Little Black Girl, May Makes a Way, Marvelous Mabel, Not Done Yet, which is a story about Shirley Chisholm, On Her Wings, which is a story about Toni Morrison. Opal Lee, which actually Opal Lee is the woman who was instrumental in getting the Juneteenth celebration started. We have Operation Sisterhood, Shine Bright, Stacey Abrams' Extraordinary Words, The Adventures of Quay Quay by Serena Williams, and Naomi Osaka's The Way Champs Play. And the top three winners for favorite children's book, the winner's circle, are Little Black Book by Kirby Howe Baptiste, Stacey Abrams, we all know who Stacey Abrams is, Stacey's Extraordinary Words, and The Adventures of Quay Quay by our very favorite, the GOAT, Serena Williams. So those are the winners in that category. All right, so those are our first two categories. See if we have any comments there. All right, yes, thank you for the diversity of categories. And and I had to do that because the thing of it is, even with the BGC book club, there are adult books, there's certain types of books that I tend to focus on the people that I interview, but it's good to see that there are a lot of other options and books that are available to us as readers or those who may want to share with our family members. So thank you for that. All right, so up next, let me pull up our next category. Just a second here. Our next category is cookbooks. Now, I love to cook, so I enjoy doing this, and there are quite a few books on this list that I actually own. So here's our list for the cookbooks. We have Cooking from the Spirit from one of our faves, Tabitha Brown. Eat Plants Be, you can see what it says, by Pinky Cole. Gullah Geechee Home Cooking, Sunday Best. We also have Tanya Holland's California Soul, Cardia Brown's The Way Home, Watermelon and Red Birds, which is a cookbook for Juneteenth and Black celebrations, and then Vegan Africa. So the ones who won, or the top three in the winner's circle, are Tabitha, Pinky, and Cardia. So congratulations to those ladies. And if any of you love to cook, those are some great options. As you can see, two of them are vegan cookbooks. So if you're interested in being a vegan or even just want to switch up and eat more plant-based, those are some good options for those of you all who might be looking to add some new options to your diet. Up next is our fiction category. We also have several nominees in that category. We have Kennedy Ryan's Before I Let Go, Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson, Jollof Rice and Other Revolutions by Omololo Ijeoma Ogunyemi, who I actually interviewed her. We have Last Summer on State Street by Toya Wolf, Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow, On the Rooftop by Margaret Wilkerson Sexton, Arjen by Diane McKinney Whetstone, Sweet Soft Plenty Rhythm by Laura Rohrell, Lady Hubbard's Salacious Suspicious Holdout, Wahala by Nikki May, Where Wild Peaches Grow by Cade Bentley, and Yinka, Where Is Your Husband by Lizzie Damiola Blackburn. And so for this particular category, our winners are, I should say, Kennedy Ryan's Before I Let Go, Laura Rohrell's Sweet Soft, Plenty Rhythm, and Tara M. Stringfellow's Memphis. So those are the winners in that particular category. Hey, shout out if there's some of your faves that made the winner's circle. Love to know how you feel about that. All right, we see Wahala. Yes, Wahala. I had an opportunity to interview Nikki, so I was glad to have her make the list and be she's still in the top, even though she might not have made the winner's circle. As I said earlier, she's still a winner. So up next, our next category is her story. So not history, but her story, because here we believe in celebrating the stories of Black women. We have Agent Josephine. We have Black icons in her story. Civil Rights Queen. I Can't Wait to Call You My Wife. In Search of Mary Seacole. Subversive Habits. The Devil's Half Acre. The Grimkes. To Walk About in Freedom. Wake. And We Go High. So our top books in this particular category. Votes came in. I Can't Wait to Call You My Wife by Rita Roberts. Wake, The Hidden History of Women-Led Slavery Votes by Rebecca Hall. And We Go High by Nicole Ellis. So those are our winners in our favorite herstory book category. And sticking with along the lines of herstory, we have historical fiction, which is one of the areas that we talk about a lot in this particular book club. So I want to share those for this time. We have A Woman of Endurance by Dalma Llanos Figueroa, By Her Own Design by Piper Hughley, Kiana Alexander's Carolina Built, My Name is Ona Judge by Suzette D. Harrison. And actually, she has a couple of books that made it. Also, The Dust Bowl Orphans. Passing Notes by Courtney Duke Foster. Vanessa Riley's Sister, Mother, Warrior. Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. The Attic Child by Lola J. The Great Mrs. Elias by Barbara Chase Ribaud, The Personal Librarian, The Thread Collectors, and The Two Lives of Sarah. So in our historical fiction category, the winner's circle are Passing Notes by Courtney Duke Foster, Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez, and The Attic Child by Lola J. So congratulations to those ladies for being the top choices in this year's list, for this year's list and review. So yes, We Go High. Yes, we do, by Her Own Design. Yes, those are all great books, and many of those I had the chance to interview the authors. Actually, both Passing Notes and The Attic Child had the opportunity to do that. So thank you. Up next in our inspirational category, we have several books. CeCe Winans' Believe For It, Toni Collier's Brave Enough to Be Broken, God is a Black Woman by Christina Cleveland, Killing Comparison by Nona Jones, Miss Pearly Girls by Rashonda Tate Billingsley, Mandisa's Out of the Dark, Red Lip Theology by Candice Marie Benbow, Kimberly Lawson Roby's Sister Friends Forever, and actually we have two by Vanessa Miller, Something Good and What We Found in Hallelujah, Cole Arthur Riley's This Here Flesh, and You've Been Chosen by Sent Marshall. So in our inspirational category, the top three are CeCe Winans' Believe For It, Red Lip Theology, Candice Marie Benbow, and Sister Friends Forever by Kimberly Lawson Roby. So congratulations to all of those ladies for placing in the top three for our favorite inspirational book. All right, so I'm gonna pop back on screen for a minute. So how are you guys feeling about the selection so far? I see Laura's been sharing some of her favorites in the comments. Please continue to do so, or if you have, just want to say something about the people that are being recognized, please feel free to do so we can all share in this wonderful experience. And there will be a recap that goes out later so people can see who won or, that sort of thing. But for right now, I'm just happy to have you all here sharing in this time with me. So we're going to go ahead and continue on. Our next category is for memoir. So there are a lot of great memoirs that came out in this last year. Several of these I've had the opportunity to speak with the writers, so I'm excited to include them. And just kind of let you know, there are people that I may not have talked to this year that I'm already on tap to talk to next year. So this is an ongoing thing. This is no way is this the end. So A Coastline is an Immeasurable Thing was one of our memoirs for this year. Viola Davis's Finding Me, Fruit Punch by Kendra Allen, Shine Bright by Danielle Smith, The Black Period by Hafiza Augustus Jeter, The Catch Me If You Can, Michelle Obama, of course, The Light We Carry, The Mamas by Helena Andrews Dyer, And forgive me if I'm saying the name wrong because I can't see it now. Therapy Isn't Just for White People by Kiara Imani. Token Black Girl by Danielle Prescott. Ray Lewis Thornton's Unprotected. Jamel Hill's Uphill. Walking in My Joy by Jennifer Lewis. Weightless by Yvette Dion. And actually, she was last week's guest, but a lot of people loved her story. And Where the Children Take Us by Zane Asher. So our winners for this category are Viola Davis, Michelle Obama, of course. Those are some of our faves. And Therapy Isn't Just for White People by Kiara Imani. So congratulations to those writers of memoir. We know memoir is one of those areas where people really have to dive in and tell personal stories. So that takes even something even more special to be willing to be transparent and talk about our lives. So congratulations to those winners. So I see we've got a few comments. Let's see here. All right, Viola Davis. Yes, Rhonda loved Viola. Yes, it's the only one of the, only one of the group we've read. Yeah, a lot of people read that. And it was a challenging book to read, as I was mentioning that, it's to get into your story and tell, so many things that are difficult to tell. That was very powerful for her to do that. And then lastly, Coastline was thoughtful and profound insight. Weightless was good. Yes, it was. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for participating. On to the next. All right, so in our mystery category, we had quite a few books as well. I think of these, I only had an opportunity to interview for one of them, but the choices are A Fatal Glow by Valerie Wilson Wesley. We have Wanda M. Morris's Anywhere You Run, Brianna Cole's Behind Her Lies. No, actually, I apologize. There are two. I spoke to Wanda and I spoke to Bethany C. Morrow about Cherish Farah, Jackal by Aaron E. Adams, Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett, Vanessa Riley, Murder in Westminster, Running to Fall by Kalisha Buchanan, Soul of a Killer by Abby Collette, They Come at Night by Yasmin Ango, and 2 Part Sugar, 1 Part Murder by Valerie Burns. So in this particular category, our top 3 are A Fatal Glow by Valerie Wilson Wesley, Anywhere You Want Run by Wanda M. Morris, and Murder in Westminster by Vanessa Riley. Now, just a side note, I have interviewed Vanessa, but we did not do it for Murder in Westminster, so I may need to double back and reach out to her and see if we can have a conversation about that book as well. So, all right, and we have a comment. I really loved Murder in Westminster and Anywhere You Want Run. Yes, thank you, Rhonda. All right, so next up, our nonfiction category. There were several books in here. Afro Chic, which is actually a book about designing and as it pertains to Black homes. Black Joy, Stories of Resistance, Resilience, and Restoration by Tracy Michelle Lewis Jiggets. Black Women Will Save the World, an Anthem by April Ryan. Build the Damn Thing by Catherine Finney. First and Only, Miss Chloe by A.J. Verdell. My People by Charlene Hunter Galt. Power, the Rise of Black Women in America, South to America, and Misty Copeland's The Wind at My Back. So the winners in our nonfiction category are Black Joy, Stories of Resistance, Resilience, and Restoration. And side note on this one as well, on last week I had the opportunity through another partnership. She wrote the book to interview Tracy along with a couple of other great women. So if you get a chance to check the Brown Girl Collective Facebook page or YouTube channel, you can actually tap into the conversation that I had with Tracy on last week. Our other winner is Black Women Will Save the World by April Ryan and Misty Copeland's The Wind at My Back, which is actually paying homage to her mentor. So those are the 3 books that won in the favorite nonfiction category. Up next, poetry. And this one's going to be a little something different in this one because this is the only category where we actually have a man that was nominated. But he wrote a wonderful book about Black women, so that's why he had the opportunity to join this favorite poetry group. We have American Sex Tape by Jamaica Williams. We have, and I can't see my notes, so forgive me. Let me look 1 second. That one is small. We have Barter and Bourbon by Elisa LaJones. Black Roses, and that is the one by Harold Green III. We have Bless the Daughter by Warsan Shire. Concentrate by Courtney Faye Taylor. For Every Black Woman's Soul by Penny Blackwright. Girls That Never Die by Sophia Elijo. Golden Axe by Rio Cortez. Song for Almeida and Song for Anino by Gail Jones. Walking Gentry Home by Alora Young. And last but not least, We Are Not Wearing Helmets. So the top three books in this category are Bless the Daughter Raised by A Voice in Her Head by Warsan Shire. Penny Blackwright's For Every Black Woman's Soul. And Girls That Never Die by Sophia Elijo. So, all right, got a couple comments, so let me come back on screen for a moment. Thank you. And thank you all once again for participating, because it's kind of different when you're doing something by yourself, but I'm glad that you all are here with me participating. So from Alexandria, I really enjoyed Black Women Will Save the World. Yes, it's on my to be read pile. Of course, when I interview every week, sometimes it's hard to read in between, but that is definitely in my pile. Rhonda McKnight, Black Joy truly elevated my consciousness about how much we need to find, hold on to, and manage activities that give us joy. Absolutely, absolutely, Rhonda. And if you did not get a chance to see that conversation from last week, I would definitely suggest taking a look because we talked all about that. So thank you everyone for sharing. So up next, after poetry, we've got love. We got some romance coming up. So the books in the romance category, A Sweet Low Country Proposal by Perlasia Williams. Rochelle Allers, Along the Shore, Business Not As Usual by Sharon C. Cooper. Do You Take This Man by Denise Williams. Jasmine Guillory's Drunk on Love. Good Morning Love by Ashley M. Coleman. The Hookup Plan by Farah Rashan. Brenda Jackson's The House on Blueberry Lane. The Light Always Breaks by Angela Jackson Brown. And Beverly Jenkins's To Catch a Raven. In the romance area, the books that were nominated to reach the top are Jasmine Guillory, who we know is a favorite in the romance area, Drunk on Love, Farrah Rashan's The Hookup Plan, and Brenda Jackson's The House on Blueberry Lane. So those are the winners in that category. Rhonda, yes, one of your favorite categories. I know why. You're right in that genre as well. So thank you. So I hope one of your faves won, Rhonda. So up next, we have our sci-fi, speculative fiction, magical realism book of 2022. We have Lucinda Roy's Flying the Coop, Still Waters, The Last Dreamwalker by Rita Woods, Janelle Monáe's The Memory Librarian, Leah Vernon's The Union, The Women Could Fly by Megan Giddings, and We'll Do Magic for Small Change by Andrea Hairston. And so the winners in this particular category, and actually one of these, I am going to say who the winner is, because they got almost everybody voted for them. So Still Waters Jenna Caldwell. I would say that pretty much everybody who voted in that category voted for Still Waters. There was someone who left a comment who said that that was one of the best books that they read all year. So if you like to read anything in the sci-fi speculative fiction area, I would suggest Still Waters because it was highly, highly recommended. The Women Could Fly by Megan Giddings also was highly recommended, as was The Last Dreamwalker. The last two books, I actually did have an opportunity to talk to those authors. So if you go to the YouTube channel for Brown Girl Collective, you can look for those particular interviews and dial in there. All right, so up next, we have, and we're almost done. We've got 3 more categories and we'll be done. So up next, we have our favorite self-care wellness book of 2022. We have African American Herbalism, Sophia A. Nelson's Be the One You Need, Maddie James's Everyday Magic, Homecoming by Dr. Tama Bryant, How We Heal by Alex L., Pause, Reflect, Be by Octavia Rahim, Rest is Resistance, A Manifesto by Tricia Hersey, Self-Care for Black Women by Oludaro Adio. Also in the self-care area, Self-Love Workbook for Black Women, Speak by Tunde, and Shishi Ogorum's I can't talk, forgive me guys, The Enneagram for Black Liberation. So those are the books in the self-help category. And our top 3 for the winner's circle are African American Herbalism, Speak, and the Enneagram for Black Liberation. And I do want to mention I'll wait to the end because one of those guests that was here last year in this category will be with us for our first show of 2023. So I'll wait until we get to the end and talk about that. So, all right. And up next, for our young adult category, we have Akata Woman, And We Rise, Black Girls Unbossed, Break This House, Inheritance, Nothing Burns as Bright as You, One True Loves, Required Reading for Disenfranchised Freshmen, The Weight of Blood, Vinyl Moon, We Deserve Monuments, You Are More Than Magic, and You Truly Assumed. And I just want to say real briefly, in this category, it's a combination of fiction, nonfiction, and poetry in this particular category, but these were the books that landed at the top. And in our winner's circle, we are adding The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson, Black Girls Unbossed by Christy Lauren Adams, and You Are More Than Magic by Minda Harts. So congratulations to those ladies on winning in our favorite young adult book category. So last but not least, definitely not least, I am going to share the people who were top interviews for last year. Of course, during the season, I did a multitude of interviews. If you've been watching for a while, most weeks I am actually interviewing Black women writers or those who support us. So there are a lot that I could have mentioned. And as I said at the beginning of this show, that just because a person may or may not have made the list, they're still a winner. They're still powerful. We still appreciate everything that they do in terms of their work. But I just wanted to make sure that I pay special homage to the ones that people really love. And just to let you know, it wasn't me. Let me clarify. It wasn't just me picking my favorites, because that would be difficult. It's like picking a favorite child for those of you who have children. But it was based upon when I look at the numbers of who watches what, and who got the most watches and things like the most views and things like that. That is why, or that is how I was able to determine who made the list. And it is a lot, so just bear with me for a second on this one, but we're still going to land at the top 3. All right, so for the best interviews, BGC Book Club or Live Well Sister, which is my other platform, for the best interviews for the year, we had several. Okay, first there's Aeneas Granovsky, Candice Marie Bimbo, and they are in order. So if you just kind of follow along, I have them in order. Candice Marie Bimbo, Charlene Hunter Galt, Shishi Agaram, Cole Arthur Riley, Courtney Duke Foster, Dalma Llanos Figuera, Diane McKinney Whetstone, Yvette Dion, Jane Allen, Jandela Benson, Kimberla Lawson Roby, Latoya Watkins, Megan Giddings, Nikki May, Oludara Adio, Ray Lewis Thornton, Shauna J. Edwards, and Allison Richmond. And actually, Allison and Shauna wrote a book together. So it's the young lady in the blue and the lady next to her as well. Charlene Obuobi, Tamron Hall, and Vanessa Riley. So those were the ones that over the year got the most likes, the most views, all of that. But there were 3 who clearly came out on top once the voting was tallied. And so for the year 2022, the top 3 interviews for BGC Book Club were Candice Marie Bimbo with Red Lip Theology, Passing Notes by Courtney Duke Foster, and Tamron Hall for As the Wicked Watch. Now, some of you may not have seen that particular interview because it was done on Instagram versus my normal platform. So if you get a chance to go to Instagram to check that out, you can see that interview that I did with Tamron. So those are the top 3 of the year, believe it or not. So there we go. There you have it. Let me come back so you can see me here. So thank you, everybody, for watching. And I saw a comment said, numbers tell the story. You're right. You're right. So there are a lot of things, people, they will watch it, and sometimes people will watch, sometimes they won't. But when you look and see that folks have gone back and watched it repeatedly, even after the live, that definitely says a lot. So I just want to congratulate all the winners. As I mentioned, there will be a roundup because it's too many for me to go back through all of them now, but there is going to be a roundup that will go up on social so you can see who all the people were that landed in, the top 3 or the winner's circle for this year. So in terms of 2023, I want to let you know I've been hard at work gearing up people for the new year as well. I will be on hiatus until January 4th, which is actually a Wednesday. Live Well Sister will be coming back because that's a way for us to get into some of the things that pertain more to our health and wholeness and wellness, which is not something we generally do on the BGC Book Club, but I just feel it's important because we all got things going on and we can always use help in being better, in our own personal lives, self included, present company included. So I'm just putting up my email if you want to reach out to me, or if you have any suggestions or any authors or anyone that you might want me to see if I can reach out to for an interview. So I'm putting that up for you guys. But coming on January 4th, I will start off with Affirmations for Black Women, a journal. And this is Oludara Adio. She is the one who wrote Self-Care for Black Women, which was one of our wonderful interviews that we did last year. So she will be here to talk to us about affirmations, and that is on, as I said, that's on January 4th. So that's right where we're getting started. So in the new year. So if you're trying to figure out and lay a foundation for where you want to go in the year, I figure that's a wonderful way to start with building up our affirmations. Also on the Live Well Sister show, which is going to be on Wednesdays, we'll be talking to Yasmin Cheyenne about the sugar jar. So that will be on January the 11th. And then I will be on a break on the week of the Martin Luther King week for a reason that I'll share with you guys a little later. So I won't be here on the 18th, and on the 25th, I'll be back with Ride or Die, a feminist manifesto for the well-being of Black women by Shanita Hubbard. So those are the three that will be in the month of January in terms of Live Well Sister. And then for BGC Book Club, which is Monday nights, I will be on hiatus until January the 9th. And when I come back with the first book on the 9th, it will be Someone Had to Do It, which is actually a book written by two sisters, Amber and Danielle Brown. And that is kind of like a thriller. So that'll be exciting to start off the year with them. On the, just getting the dates in my head. The next time I'm here on the 9th, on the 23rd, I had to get the dates in my head. I will be interviewing Rona D about her new book, Friendship Matters. And then close out the month with a guest that we also had last year. This was her second book, BC Ajapan, will be here to talk about her new book, Daughter in Exile. So that is January. But I'm going to take a break, and be able to just get some rest and have an opportunity to, relax, released, all of those things that I need to do. Maybe read something that I don't normally get to read during the course of the year because I am busy entertaining you guys and bringing great people to you. So I want to wish everyone that has shown up, or if you watch later on the replay, first of all, congratulations to everyone who was nominated, everybody who won, everybody who published the book in 2023, because we know that's no small feat. So congratulations to everyone once again. And for those of you who are here, or if you're watching now or watching later, I just want you to know how much I love and appreciate you. Please continue to follow. Also, I did not mention this, and you may want to jot this down. The books that are listed for this year's recap are all available through the Brown Girl Collective bookstore. And so if you just go and do Brown Girl Collective bookstore, just type that in, www.browngirlcollectivebookstore. It will take you to the bookstore that is on Bookshop. So it is run through Bookshop, but it is a bookstore that has all of these books that I've mentioned tonight. It has all of the books of people that maybe didn't get mentioned that have been interviewed, as well as a bunch of other things as well. So I would suggest you go there. That's www.browngirlcollectivebookstore.com and see what you can find there. So everyone, I wish you the happiest of holiday seasons. We're in the midst of it now. So I wish you the happiest of holidays, whichever holidays you celebrate, and a wonderful new year. And I look forward to seeing you all on January 4th. Thanks again. Sending love. Thank you. And have a good night. Bye-bye.